Good afternoon. My name is Botz. I'm a school teacher in Cincinnati, and I'm the Socialist Party candidate for the U.S. Senate. I'd like to go back about 2 years and have you think about that board meeting that took place where a group of rich men around a board decided to close a DHL facility in Wilmington. Any of you hear about that? 8,000 workers lost their jobs. A group of men sitting around a board could fire 8,000 workers. Probably 40,000 workers in that town were affected. That facility was wiped out. That's like a massacre of a small town. The biggest employer there, to wipe that out. That's the way corporations run this country. The corporations dominate our economy. They make the decisions. They make all the most important decisions over which we have no control right now. The Republicans and the Democrats didn't pass any legislation that would say that you're not allowed to close a factory like that and stop these 8,000 people from being laid off. Couldn't stop them from getting rid of that. We need to have a different kind of an economy. Think of what the corporations have done with the environment. Look at BP. Have you seen any BP officials go to jail? Have you seen any BP officials been indicted? Any BP officials who killed 10 men on an oil platform being before a judge, going to court? I don't see any. I don't see that happening. Did they pollute and destroy the environment of the Gulf of Mexico? I think so. Tremendous damage to the Gulf of Mexico, and yet nobody's going to prison for that. Think of Massey Energy. Remember those miners that were killed here at Massey Energy? What's happening with Massey Energy? Who's going to jail there? We have a country where the corporations dominate this economy. They make all the most important decisions. We have 10 or 20% of people out of work. They say 10%, but that doesn't include the people who are giving up looking for work and people who are only partially employed. The Republicans and the Democrats have not dealt with the unemployment issue. When the private sector fails, as it clearly has failed, the government has to come in and make sure that people have jobs. How can you do that? People say, well, you want the government to take over and run everything? No. I'm saying the government could come in, could take over these idle plants in Northeast Ohio and set them to work. Let the unions and workers there who know how to run them set those plants to work. Producing for a green economy, working with consumers. We should transform this economy into one where the American people control it, where we make the big decisions. Right now, we have no national economic plan for the future of our nation. You don't get any voice in what happens to our economy. You don't get to vote on what we want to do about a green economy, whether or not we want to develop that economy. There's no votes on those matters. Those are matters called private industry, free enterprise. What that really means is a capitalist system with its economic ups and downs. It booms and it's busts. One year you got a job, the next year you're out of job. Right now, our kids cannot get that crucial first job. And I think what we have to do is have an economy that produces jobs, deal with the issue of carbon fuel, and I'm going to end with this important thing: get out of the wars in Iraq, Afghanistan, and stop this bombing in Pakistan that's creating enemies for us. Thank you very much, Dan Labatt, Socialist Party candidate for the U.S. Senate.